Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Deals podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle Simmons, and I am here today with Yusef with Centennial Accounting Group. Thank you for being here with me today.
No, thank you guys for inviting me. It's honestly an honor to be here and working with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't attempt to say your last name because I didn't want to butcher it. How do you say your last name?
So it's pronounced Aduan, but trust me, it doesn't offend me. Many people say it wrong in the past. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not want to say it wrong. Aduan.
Yep.
Yusef Aduan. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And so what's your position at Centennial Accounting Group?
So I am currently the CEO and founder of the firm. And I've started this firm about 3 years ago. But thankfully to all of our connections and partnerships that we have done, it has helped us expand and gather overall about 20 years of experience.
Amazing. Yeah. You have lots of very experienced accountants and people that have worked for the IRS even, right? That
Correct.
are a part of your firm. That's amazing. And actually how we met, how we got connected was through the Contractors of Colorado, our sister company. And you've been working inside that community for a while now, over a year, right?
Correct, for about a year now. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And I know you guys have offered lots of great services to that community. I almost completely forgot. I have to do a shout out to our sponsor, who you know as well, Anna and Sufyan at Builders Outlet. Builders Outlet is our podcast sponsor. They are your go-to for windows, trim, cabinets, and doors. And you can check them out by going to buildersoutletco.com. That's the hard part of this whole podcast. I like it to be very, just free flow, but sometimes I gotta mention the sponsor. But
shout out to Builders Outlet. They're definitely my favorite go-to. That's for sure.
Yeah. Have you have some of your? I imagine some of your clients have bought from them.
Correct. Yeah, because we do work with a lot of contractors and realtors as well as investors. So this is why this is such a hidden gem group that I feel like we could be bringing a lot of value towards.
Yeah.
And we can work with a lot of the clients that we relate to.
Yeah. Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about your history, your story, more than just your company. We like to bring people on and learn about what got you into what you're doing in business. What did your childhood look like? What got you here in Colorado? Tell us the story of Yusef.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to be definitely a long story, but I come from all the way overseas. So I guess my real journey in the U.S. started at age 12 when we came to America, me and my family. Luckily, I had older brothers here who helped bring us straight to Colorado.
Amazing.
Me and another brother, as well as mom and dad. In total, we're 5 siblings, 3 brothers and 3 brothers and 1 sister, and me, of course.
Yeah.
But I always had a thing and passion for the entrepreneurial lifestyle, and it's been something that I've always been hungry for since I was a kid. Believe it or not, at age 12, I was literally selling things on Marketplace, Craigslist, and all that fun stuff. And I was making pretty good revenue for a 13 or 14-year-old.
What kind of things were you selling?
A lot of random things, I'd say. So it started off with RC cars when I was 12 years old. And by the time I was 14, I was at the point where me and my brother, that was 2 years apart from me, we were able to afford buying cars at age 14 and 16.
Wow.
And then we started selling cars that by age 18, my brother and I were able to open a car dealership together.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story of entrepreneurship from a young age.
Yeah. So I really got into it at a very young age, and it started really in the car business and accounting at the same time, which is why I'm lenient to both. However, my main focus now is on accounting. But one of my older brothers, Mo Adwan, had a firm at the time, and he offered me an internship at his accounting firm at age 17 as we were still doing everything else.
Wow.
And that's really how I learned accounting. Yeah.
And that was in Florida, right? I think.
No, that was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it all started here. I did an internship for about a few months before he was very confident in my work and that I have picked it up great.
Nice.
And then he offered me a full-time job at his firm, and that lasted for about 2 years until I ended up moving the car dealership route. And yeah, basically I got into the car dealership business from there officially with my other brother. And we kept that going for quite some time until I ended up saying I want to do this on my own. You know, I don't want to stay with family because it's hard having businesses with family.
Yeah.
I love them so much, but it's definitely a little bit tougher, you know, because it's like that relationship has some changes to it. Obviously, a lot of positive changes, hardly any negatives. But yeah, that's really what motivated me. I'm like, I want to do this on my own without anybody's support to show them that I can do it.
Nice.
And that's when I picked up my stuff, packed my car, and drove all the way to Florida. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, you were here, and then you decided to take your new business that you were starting from the ground up in Florida.
Yep. No friends, no plans, nothing. Left it all behind. I'm like, I want to leave somewhere else to where I have no distractions or anybody, and I want to get started.
And where in Florida did you start your company?
I started it in Tampa Bay, right off the water, which was pretty nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful area.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. And then, so it went very great. I started it for about 6 months, and then it started really kicking off. I had all the knowledge needed as a bookkeeper and a junior accountant. So I was offering very limited services at the time, but with that, I was offering very competitive rates. So I was able to build a lot of relationships and a great amount of clientele. And then just referrals started recurring from there.
Wow.
And that's how I was able to build a very stable business within 6 months to a year.
Yeah. So that first 6 months, it was just you doing all of the bookkeeping, accounting services. You didn't have anyone else working for you?
No, that was all me, the very 6 months. But then after that, I got to the point where I need to hire more people, and that's where I expanded resources.
Yeah.
And that's really what got me more. It got my vision opened up more for sure. And then I hired a contractor who was running the accounting part while I kept scaling. And we kept that going for about a year. Everything kept going great.
Nice.
And stable until my older brother Mo did see the opportunity with me, and because he had his own firm at the time, and he's the one that trained and mentored me throughout it. Yeah. And that's really what got him to say, okay, I want to partner with him now.
Nice.
So it's
now
pretty.
he's coming to work with you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how it turned around. And I mean, I'm forever grateful for all the tips he taught me, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been where I am today.
Right.
But we ended up doing a partnership together, me and him, and did a merger.
Nice.
So it worked out great. And then from there, we expanded our resources, our budgets, and increased our accountants and everything else.
Yeah.
And that's when we went on expansion streaks to many different locations, Colorado being our main homeland.
Yeah. That's when. Okay, so that's when you brought it back here.
That's when I came back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the time before me and him started together, I had already expanded more. That I had another office opened in Miami at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
So I had one in Tampa, one in Miami, and that's when I moved back to build it into a HQ foundation over here in Denver.
Nice.
While we expand in more states.
Yeah. So you still have those in Florida, those 2 locations?
Correct.
Wow, that's awesome.
They're not as big as Colorado, but they're pretty decent size. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's amazing that you're in multiple markets. And where else are you currently looking to expand into other places too?
Yeah, we did expand among Texas already and Ohio, and we just launched in Manhattan, New York right now, about a month ago. That was our main launch there.
Wow.
And
that's a whole different world over there.
It is a whole different world.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be losing hair by the time we finish all the compliance over there and education.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
Yeah, but it's definitely worth it. And I know we can bring in the help that's needed. especially with all the shortage of accountants that's going on. I'm sure you heard that, and a lot of people can relate, but it's a very tough industry to be in.
Yeah.
And not many accountants can handle it. So, which is why we wanted to expand to help businesses at the end of the day find the right source that's going to lead them to the right path.
Yeah. And what kind of people like work within your company? I briefly touched on like you have accountants, right, who are licensed accountants. You have bookkeepers. What other types of positions are under you
Yeah,
guys?
so we do have, so it's split out into different departments. We have the accounting department, the bookkeeping department, and we have a sales tax department and taxes and tax resolution department. And that one involves the enrolled agents.
Yeah.
The CPAs are more involved among the accounting department side. And we have an admin department that assists in all the admin work needed. And we keep it very divided and separated. So that way each resource is implemented towards that one field only. Therefore, their knowledge is always going to be up to date and straight to the point.
Yeah, and they're like specializing in that one thing so they can really hone in, focus, not be pulled in a million different directions.
Absolutely.
Now, tell us more about the enrolled agent, because I mean, that to me is new as a business owner. And I, for many years, haven't had much tax understanding like I should, but I've just recently learned about the enrolled agent. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. Well, I gotta say, if you want to get your taxes done, I would definitely choose an enrolled agent over a CPA. And I'm saying that as an accounting firm owner, just because an enrolled agent is someone that's certified by the IRS. So he works directly and strictly with tax only. Meanwhile, a CPA has to learn the whole image of accounting. Therefore, he's going to have so many different involvements, and he'll bring in a lot better value, focusing on the financials and assuring your business's stable the growth over monthly or quarterly basis. Meanwhile, the tax compliance person that's an enrolled agent is focusing directly with the IRS.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the CPA is also focusing on like your state taxes and just everything, like you said, your books as a whole, not just your involvement with the IRS.
Correct.
So yeah, I can see like having that enrolled agent who's focused just on the IRS and your taxes with them is like super valuable.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely helps a lot, just because based on our past experience, and we did have CPAs who were in charge of the taxes in the past, we realized it brings a lot more value having an enrolled agent. And a lot of people just mistake that just because it's not something that they talk a lot about very often.
Yeah.
But as soon as we do get clients who sometimes request to meet with our CPA. So in order to discuss taxes.
Yeah.
So what we do in that meeting is involve both of them. And then that's how it helps with that transition.
Yeah.
Seeing the better value as an enrolled agent. Typically, with our experience, we figure that he does a lot better value for tax services.
Yeah. No, and that's great that you can have both of them, you know, for those meetings so that they can both take a crack at it from different angles. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What kind of tips do you have? I know you guys work with, like you said, lots of contractors and realtors and investors. Can you give us some kind of tip or tips, multiple, for investors or realtors that they should be on the lookout for when it comes to their accounting and taxes?
Well, tax tips. That's my favorite part. So why don't we get into it?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like paying taxes. So I'm going to do everything in my power that's most compliant in order to not pay taxes. As far as the first tip would go, for any business owner in general that's profiting, I'd say average of over 50 to 60,000 a year, to go with the S Corp route.
Okay.
Begin there. So as far as tips goes, there's a lot of ways for you to not pay taxes. I personally don't like paying taxes, so I do everything in my power to get there. And you kind of run it as stages. So stage number one would be S Corp, or buying business vehicles, you know, or writing off the current vehicle that you have if you're using it for business. Those are totally compliant as long as it's one that's in the reach of your business industry and that sort of thing.
Right.
And then once you outgrow that S corp route, you're gonna see yourself in a hole where you're gonna be paying more, well, not more taxes, but higher amount of taxes. And that's when you start looking into building other entities.
Okay.
And looking more into nonprofits or maybe purchasing more vehicles.
Yeah.
And then you're starting to make a good cause and making more donations in order to write that off. And the tips just keep going from there until you eventually run it as a corporation and that sort of thing. But yeah, no,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you said like the stages, right? Because that's something that a lot of people in an early, somewhat early stage for me, when I was like seeing a lot of profits from rental properties, I was listening to a lot of people who were talking about corporations and nonprofits and having a holding company and having all of the LLCs feeding into the holding company and like all of these different ways to avoid taxes. But I really wasn't in a position, I wasn't in that stage yet to where I needed to do all of that, and ended up costing myself a lot more in just the filing of taxes for those bigger types of entities than needed, you know? So I love that you said that, like there's stages.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to start at that route. You do want to start it stage by stage.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're right. People do run into those situations, unfortunately. I wish I would have met you sooner before you proceeded, but that's why we take our guidance very seriously. And we really want to walk through literally as long as an hour if needed, just in order to understand your situation before we even give any advice, you know, because we want to make sure it's custom fitted just for you and the stage that you're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely want to do it step by step, you know, and then eventually you get to a point where you need to buy a company plane in order to get write-offs.
Yeah.
So it's
Which
really,
you've done, right?
I have not done yet.
Oh, okay. I saw the pictures of your plane that you have.
Yeah, so I charter from time to time.
Okay.
It's a good write-off as well.
Yeah.
As long as you have a good business reason behind it.
Yeah.
And very comfortable.
And it looks great.
It does, yeah. I am not there yet, but I am working on my pilot license to get something a little more affordable, I'd say.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be a write-off for sure.
Yeah.
And slowly business owners starts to get to that point, you know. That's why sometimes you hear stories of business owners panicking with like 100 million of profit, you know. Then they're like just wiring money to their jet person, you know, to just go ahead and to write it off even if the plane's not available. So it's pretty, it's like it gets to that point, but you want to do it step by step without overwhelming the client or overwhelming the system.
Yeah.
And always making sure you have your records tracked and as clean as possible,
Yeah.
just in case of an audit, so that way you've done everything by the book and compliance.
Absolutely. And you guys help with like payroll services too for companies, right? That are like that have employees and they need payroll services taken care of. You guys help with setting up those plans.
Yeah, we do set up payroll. We don't do it in-house just because of the liability of it, but we do have partners and a support team that focuses just on that. So if you ever need any payroll services, we'll be able to set you up and get you the most competitive rates possible.
Awesome. I might need to check with you guys on that because I'm using a payroll service right now that I'm not happy with for my trucking company. And yeah, I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll guide you through it and make sure we get you in a good one that we trust, and we'll support you on it in case of any issues.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Even just like onboarding new drivers into the system has been such a nightmare with this company I'm dealing with. So yeah, I'm definitely open to something else.
Yeah, no, I'm curious to know which one that is as soon as we're done with this meeting. And I'll make sure that
names here, but yeah, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, but I definitely am going to help you. I'm very confident with that.
Okay.
And if it's one we work with, I'm definitely having a discussion with them. And if it's bad, we don't want our reputation hurting with them. So I would be even looking to canceling our partnership with them, depending on how bad it is.
From one little unhappy me.
From one unhappy customer, correct? We take pride and we take it very seriously.
Yeah. No, that's good. I've heard good things about you guys and how you take care of the clients in our sister community. And I know you're early in getting involved in the real estate deal makers And have you been in touch with any of the members in our community yet? I mean, I know you've talked to a lot of them at like our in-person mixers, and has anybody signed up with you yet from our community?
I don't believe so, but it's because really the reason I like to approach it is not like a salesperson. It's a matter of I'm here. If you need the help, please call me. But I did connect with some people as friends, but no business related yet.
Yeah.
But I'm happy going that route because I created a lot of new friends and met such amazing people.
Good.
And then that to me means more than enough, to be honest with you, for me to be a part of the organization. And it's been working great. And I'm very confident that down the road, maybe because I'm very new into it still, like about a month.
Yeah,
now?
just barely a month. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very confident that's going to take a big kick very soon.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that. But I do love the network that you have.
Thank you.
Of course.
And I love that people get to come and they get to meet you and see you at our events and just talk to you and connect with you, like you said, like as a friend, first and foremost. And that means a lot. Like I've worked with several accounting companies and CPAs, and there's usually like a big barrier, there when it comes to like the personal interaction or engagement. And I love that you get out here and you build relationships with people, because that definitely goes very far.
Oh, it means a lot to me. I'm always wanting to expand my network, and you give me the perfect resource to do that. So I'm forever grateful for this, and will invest in it any day of the week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us too.
No, of course. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
So tell me some of your goals with the company, and I'm sure you have really big, amazing goals. So I'm excited to hear, what do those look like in the next few years? Where do you hope to take Centennial Accounting Group?
Well, I hope to take it over the next 10 years nationwide, as it's such a declining business and you never even meet a young accountant anymore.
Yeah.
That's very hard just because of how complex it is to get into the accounting field. So it's a matter of solving a problem rather than expanding for revenue is my main focus on this. 80% of our clients that come to us are due to CPA retiring or bad experience or not accepting new clients, or some of them go as far as CPA got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had those experiences too.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm not the only one that had that, but it's like, it's like, what can you do other than help at this point? If we're not here, many CPAs are not here, who's going to help business owners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need you guys.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's really my main motivation for it. And I do things off of good faith. So it's been inspiring me and keeping me flowing through it to expand more.
Love it.
Yeah.
And that desire to just help people, like you said, it's not so much about, obviously the revenue's there. You guys do well enough to be able to grow and expand and support multiple employees and all of that. So that's beautiful too. That's just a byproduct of being a giver and seeking to help people. So I love that that's where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You are right. That's our mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nationwide. So you're in 4 states right now, right? Colorado, Florida, Ohio, and Texas?
And New York.
In New York.
Yep.
So do you have a number of how many states you want to be in by a certain period of time?
Yeah, I typically focus on, as we're on an expansion streak, every 3 to 6 months, opening a new location. That's my main goal.
Wow.
And really, just like any business, once you have the right system and the right foundation, it gets quicker and quicker because you have the system and you have the resolution for it, and you're able to get that foundation built a lot faster.
I love it.
So that's what's been keeping us growing more and quicker while still delivering the same value.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How about personally? What is a personal goal that you have? I know you mentioned getting your pilot's license, right? That's something that you're looking forward to. Any other personal goals that you can share with us?
Personal goals. I haven't really thought of those. Well, I guess I do have.
Story of every business owner ever. Like, wait.
I'm like, am I supposed to have a personal life? Let me think for a second.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, personally, I am very big on fighting and mixed martial arts. A personal goal for me as I'm finishing my recovery for my surgeries on my final stage, and I can finally run again and walk after my 2 major knee surgeries.
Wow.
Personal goal is to make it to the UFC as a professional mixed martial arts fighter.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
I want to see that for you, and I want to come cheer you on.
Yes, I would love that. You are definitely invited to every fight. I am getting back into it slowly, that I'm hoping by between August or December, I should be fighting again, and I should have 1 or 2 fights lined up.
Love it.
So it's going to be funny if I get punched and then the next day I meet a client, accountant with black eye.
Yeah, your UFC fighting accountants. That's cool.
You never heard that before, did you?
No, that's cool though. That's a whole brand. That's a whole brand in itself. I dig it.
It's very different industries, but I take life about fun, hard work, and fun. So it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
I still have such a great time, whether it's during the day working or outside of work, just because I keep myself very busy and involved.
Yeah.
And I keep my goals and passions. But those are my 2 big goals, is getting my pilot license and become a UFC fighter.
I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, have you done, I imagine you've done some fighting before, just not in UFC. What kind of fights have you been involved in?
Yeah, so I done mostly wrestling. I was 6th in state in wrestling, and I done a few like local fights, I would call them, like nothing on record or any of that. I done like a few mixed martial arts fights on that route.
Nice.
And I haven't been defeated yet.
Wow.
Knock on wood.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's been going great, but luckily, thanks to all my networking, I was able to meet some very connected people in that field. So it gives me a very quick resource to get my way up there.
Yeah.
As long as I put in the work and effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you train quite a bit for fighting?
Almost every night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's dedication, man.
Yeah. Yeah. What I've done with this, typically by 7 or 8, my accounting mind is over. Then I'm at the gym till midnight. I go as far as midnight some days, just getting my techniques back into it now that I can start moving more.
Yeah. So what happened with your knee? Was it one knee or both knees?
It was 2 surgeries in 1 knee.
Oh.
Yeah. It was, so I ended up getting stem cells done, and because I shattered my cartilage and tore my meniscus.
Oh, during a fight?
That was from ski and soccer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that ski and soccer were more dangerous than getting punched in the face, but apparently they were. Yeah. But
Kind of makes sense.
yeah, and then it sent me back so far in my fighting.
Oh, man.
And I'm like bummed, but I'm still gonna ski,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what really set me back. It was pretty intense procedures that I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's finally almost over.
Good. That's great.
Yeah.
And congratulations on being on the other side of that. I know that healing process is crazy and difficult. So it's amazing that you're through that now and fighting, training all the time. Like, that's so cool.
Thank you. It is fun, but you definitely don't sleep a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, you work in your business all day long and doing lots of networking and just meeting with people, as I know you do, and then fighting at night. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You've inspired me because I tend to just work all the time and not do much for my personal life and my personal goals. So after hearing what you just said, I'm like, all right, like, there's no excuse. I really need to be, one of my goals is to just get more fit. And so I've been like getting in the gym more, and usually during the week, because I'm so in like work mode, I don't really work out like at all. I like from Tuesday to Friday, I usually don't work out. And then like Friday night is when I'm like, okay, now I can get in the gym. Now I can go hiking for the weekend, Friday through Monday. But I mean, hey, if you can do it, like going as hard as you do, and then every night getting in the gym, like, I think I could do it. I think I could spend more time in the gym.
I think I need to just keep pushing you,
Yeah.
or maybe like knocking
Do
at your
that.
door and telling you you're coming with me tonight.
Yes. Take me to the gym, then I'm forced to just get it in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of me fighting my brain to do that, because some days I'm like, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
I force myself to go.
Yeah.
It's like I have no choice, but that's the only way I get over it, because I
Yeah.
totally get you there. Yeah.
And that's what makes, people that are in business. And I know a lot of the people who watch the podcast or are new to business or new to real estate. And like that, I think is such a determining factor to how successful you're going to be in whether it's real estate, running your own company, whatever it is, like having that dedication and being able to fight with your own brain and say like, hey, I know you don't want to do this, but you need to go freaking do this. Like that's a make or break, I think, in whether you're going to be successful in anything, in life. And so I'm sure a lot of people who watch this episode are going to be inspired by hearing just how much of a badass you are and how much you fight yourself to get into the gym even after a long day of working.
Well, that means a lot to me. Thank you. I'm definitely not where I want to be yet, but yeah, I think really exercising yourself, whether it's discipline, physical, or just your brain and mental health, that's really what keeps you going.
Yeah.
I highly recommend everyone to do that. You seem like you're on that path much better than I am even. Yeah. So I'm very inspired by you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this community. We can come together with so many people like us and not like us, but we can all inspire each other in different ways. And we're in completely different worlds, in the accounting space and the real estate space, but we have so many things in common when it comes to just like the mindset, and so being a part of this community, I'm even just grateful every single day that I get to be here working with these people and meeting people like you, coming to our mixers and, being a member. Like it's such a cool space that we're creating.
Oh, I love it. And not just the mindset, saving taxes too.
Super important. We're all learning from different ways, like real estate people, the contractor people, accounting people, but like everybody who's in cost segregation studies, like all of us coming together and figuring out how to save money on taxes.
Exactly.
Pay less to the IRS.
Yes, that always puts a smile on my face and the client's face. So definitely, accountant is worth the value.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, no doubt. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here with me today. Is there anything else about you that you would like to share with our audience, and maybe a little plug on how they can find you?
Yeah, I don't really have much else to share, more than anything, I'm always happy to help anybody that needs the help.
Yeah.
I'm with Centennial Accounting Group. Our office is in Cherry Creek, Denver, and we can probably list our contact information below.
Okay. Yeah.
And
What's your website?
cagaccountant.com.
Okay. CAG.
Yep.
Accountant. Standing for Centennial Accounting Group. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So cagaccountant.com. You can inquire on the website or just give our office a call and we'll get you help as soon as possible, or as simple as sending us an email to info@cagaccountant.com.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for being here, Yusef. And we'll see you later this week for our next big quarterly collaborative event, right? You'll be there.
Oh, for sure. I can't wait.
Yes, yes. Thanks again. And until next time, guys.
Thank you, guys.